every morning from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours of live stream writing accountability, followed by a Share What You Did wrap up chat. So for those of you who are new, you can keep this window open in the background or as a separate tab, as though it were just background noise, as though we were in a digital shared workspace, or you can read along, watch along with me as I happen to get my work done. Now you're going to see, as I get myself all squared away here this morning, that I am working in a tabbed window. That is how I do most of my work, because my computer is up there in MacBook years, but mostly I do it because I have obsessive compulsive disorder, and it's better for me to focus and to get things done if I'm not looking at the chat while I'm writing. That's why I do the Share What You Did wrap-up chat, which is when at the end of the 2 hours of morning writing, I go in and I check everything that was being said in the chats during the live stream, and I respond to all of it. Everything that you chat on YouTube and Twitch, I am going to respond to during the last portion. So I do keep them open in separate tabs just to make sure that no screen refreshing or whatnot accidentally deletes any of the chat. YouTube is pretty good about it, but Twitch, for whatever reason, it only shows you whatever chat is happening since you've opened that window, opened that tab. So I do like to keep it open the whole time I'm writing, just to make sure I don't miss anything. So it's open, I'm just not going to be looking at it till the wrap up. Finish getting things squared away like I do. All right. So now that I got the streaming squared away, I'm ready to get my work done. So feel free to get your own work done during these 2 hours, or watch along, read along with me, and share in the chat any questions or comments you have about what I'm working on, or questions or comments about what you are working on, or the creative process in general, because I love being able to have those conversations during the wrap-up chat portion. It's a really nice way to close out 2 hours of being super productive, is to just chat about that productivity. All right, so my list. Monday is a buffer day. Yep. Where did I leave off? Starlings. I'm going to be just posting to Twitter and Facebook today, it looks like. Sounds good. Next on the list. Statement for resident show. So it needs to be 10 to 15 minutes long. Artist statement. Pull right from the better storytelling. Title. Which will be better storytelling or Wonder Tales. Depending on how the focus of it goes. So if I call it better storytelling, it would need to be representative of my breadth of work. If I call it Wonder Tales, would be a standard storytelling session. If I did Cozy Rosie, it could be a stand-up situation. Oh crap, that's not what I meant. Remove. That's done. Oh, haha. I'm done. Gotcha. put, okay. I need to be better in the future about that particular thing. All right. No, not Lots of Matilda. That's too old. I want to keep it to work that I know I published in 2017, or something that people are just completely unfamiliar with. And this doesn't have any of the songs on SoundCloud. Years and 3 years. Isn't something I'll be able to recite from memory. They might be willing to listen if I read it. Maybe. It's just a longer story is all. Why is that purple? That should not be purple. It does have something about reversing the color completely. Maybe purple's just the color that it uses. It's fine. I'm cool with it. It's okay. It's okay. But maybe the scrap bag. I mean, I am doing a new rendition of Random Bearings. It's not something people are familiar with. I'm gonna go ahead and put it back on here. And then put the scrap bag here. Hymn of the Red Shoes hasn't actually been published yet. be a fun show. That would definitely fill the 10 to 15 minutes. All right. If I just do any divine prayers, there's something that I okay. I have enough pieces. I just have to print out those pieces and then decide how I want to do them, which I can do another day. That's definitely enough to work with to decide what I'm going to do. And actually, if I made okay. So I have plenty to work with here. I'm gonna work on something else now. I think maybe the things that I need to get from here are mostly in Evernote, so I should print those. calendar for the afternoon, going into Evernote and printing that stuff for now. Whoosh. Go back here, backtrack. All right. Whole thing and just turn it into, that only goes up to, okay. All right, let's see how we're doing here. Just got the books page. That's gonna get updated in a couple of days. Homepage is going to get updated in a couple of days. I should make the image for that just to be at the ready. bio statement, manifesto. Current thing, big projects with email lists. Places I am most active online. As a writer, places I'm most active online. Okay. So actually, if I went through this and just starting with the things that are okay, that number's just gonna go up as more people interact with me, talk to me about what they want. If not formally, I do understand these two things mostly. But my intended audience anyway. I just don't have the survey thing. That would be like, once I'm in a position to survey them and then, okay, so that's not, right now, graphic assets, that's something that needs to shift. Alright, the thing that makes this as neat really is just that I don't have a professional photo, but I do have to update the graphic for this background image. I have to get it ready for the new book. Alright, so take a PDF and try to turn it into a JPEG. It will only turn one page into a JPEG, if I remember that correctly. So, file, 103 pages. 103 pages of beauty, and a random white line in the middle of the picture that actually makes no sense for the way the image is designed. Son of a bitch. It's fine. It's fine. Export. Is single image, everything's nice and coherent and beautiful. Good, good, good. That's a pretty book. Okay. Okay.
Actually, that wouldn't have 4 days on it. That would have Sally Forth on it. I need a better cover for Sally Forth before I can... Ugh. Before I can have a proper cover for Sally Forth, I have to... Okay, so this isn't actually a task for today. That is a task for when... That is the task for Sally Forth Day. Today is a better storytelling day. Today is a foundational day. So... blog that serves as my home base. I have a home base on a platform that I own and control with a custom domain. The blog is not particularly attached to that. I have a blog, it's just not attached to it. So I have all the pieces, it's just not all... Honestly, the last thing is like combining, like I can't... I have a blog, don't have a podcast. I do have video. The video is every day. Podcast is more an occasional thing. It's more like the video and podcast situation is flipped if we're including the music that I record on SoundCloud. So that is actually more that on the whole. It really is. Okay. Content categories. Yes. Yes. I would hope so. I mean, okay. Days. The content. Specific days. That's across the board. There's every 20 days something on Golden Goose Eggs. First rest day of each month is Penrose Trekkie. Every rest day is the journaling prompt in the Facebook group. So overall, there are specific things that I publish on specific days, including every day of Poetry Month. I mean, overarching strategy is really a quest to quest thing. So I'll put that there. All right. Better storytelling email collection. so. If I were to send something out from better-storytelling.com on the regular, it would probably be once a month, like the Penrose Trekkie, some kind of monthly roundup. Everything getting published, everything getting worked on. Monthly roundup with a priority project blurb, goose egg article blurb, morning writing reminder. No, there's gotta be some way to have the blog posts on Medium go to Random Bearings, not Random Bearings, to Better Storytelling. Right now, there are plugins that allow you to publish on WordPress and have it sent to Medium. But what about something that's written on Medium, sent to WordPress? That's really what I need, because then I can do special content Medium lets you publish automatically to a Medium profile. What about posting to a WordPress? Display Medium posts in a WordPress plugin. No. The medium is the medium. Medium. Better storytelling is better storytelling. Those three things ought to do it. Priority project, overarching project. Special news at the bottom. Or, I wonder, okay, I can't, but could. Let's run a test just to see how it looks. Sweet. Awesome. Awesome sauce. All right. So if this visual,
just edited that shit. Why are you being weird? Let me see what it looks like. Oh my god. Edit. Control Alt Delete code. What's this say? Publish. That's not what I have typed at any friggin' point. Why are you doing this? Oh, my dear Lord. Okay. What if I just did it immediately into... You see how now you're doing it? Okay. Control off. Nope. Just off. There's gotta be a way to do this. There's gotta be a way. Frickle frats. Okay, we're getting there. Getting there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay. So, the About section probably can't finagle nothing out of there. Alright. This one you can add a widget. This section you can add a widget. And this section so as I block things, they'll come up here. So this wants a specific plugin in order for this section to work. This wants this is where you would put in the alright, so there's really only web subscription situation. So, do I just create a new list? Probably. Probably just need to create a new list for this. But before I do that, okay. So, good day to work on that will be here. I want to keep tomorrow afternoon and evening open for enjoying my anniversary. All right. All right. All right. Opt-in incentive for better storytelling. stated that can't be worked on quite yet. So it looks like right now National Poetry Month is what's going on, and it's coming to a close. So having a nice new PDF type thing of random bearings would be nice. Get it all edited and pretty. Actually, I'm just gonna put, where'd it go? Random bearings, PDF. Brainstorm. I wonder why is little song the same two sweet things do. All right. My in-between is not prioritized. First thing that's going to come up on the calendar is the start of the next 100 days. Start of the next 100 days is going to be focused on Sally Forth. So I need a new cover for Sally Forth. And by extension, a new cover image for better storytelling. Sally Forth. I put those papers. Did I put them in here? Yes, they're in here. Okay. Switching over to work on Sally Forth for the last 18 minutes. Work on Sally Forth. Get that squared away so I can square away the cover image for better storytelling. Okay, so right now, Sally Forth It's not a mystery novel. It is a young adult paranormal, which means we're not going to have a big reveal of who killed her. It's just going to be about everyone dealing with the aftermath. This is going to be an aftermath story. This is going to be focused on getting her to cross over. So that's really only going to tweak a few elements that don't happen until much later in the book anyway, so it'll help build character development rather than create a clunky mystery book situation. Great. Focusing just on getting her to cross over now. Paranormal. So it's a young adult first and foremost. Paranormal world building, but it's mostly the core story, sisters. I know what I need. All right. Work. All right. It is a book of sisters. But it is primarily Jamie's story. In the way that I was putting that, and I know exactly what it was already, which is good. Just read up some more. Alright, so I'm seeing Nine of Staffs, yes, no. Nine of Staffs, Seven of Coins under the Empress, then the Knight of Staffs, great. Page of Staffs, yep. Three of Swords. Okay. Alright. Using the Kid Kahane deck for Janie.
who is a young, queer witch turned ghost. Alright. So bright colors, line drawings, just from the art of the tarot deck itself. So, looking at the storylines, where's the map that I did? Alright, so the color coordinated map that I did has Janie's progression in the 3 sections. Section 1, she is the Ace of Cups, 5 of Coins, and 8 of Swords. In the second section, she is the Knight of Staffs, Knight of Swords, and Queen of Coins. And in the end of the story, she is 10 of Staffs, the Hermit, and the 4 of Swords. Take an element of each character's tarot readings, of the 3 female characters' tarot readings. The most archetypal figure in the whole of Janie's story is the Hermit. She is on her own. She is separated from everyone. She leads the way in her way. Alright, and then there is Ruth, whose development really kicks off in the second section. The Empress, 7 of Coins, Squire of Staffs. Then in Knight of Staffs, 3 of Swords, the Papist. And then Knight of Swords, Knight of Coins, Queen of Cups. And then the end, she's 2 of Swords, the Chariot, and Knight of Coins. So she has the Empress, the Priestess, and the Chariot. She has 3 archetypal figures. Strong, powerful, living, feminine. A major part of how her sister is able to be ferried into the underworld. But so is Taylor. Taylor's story was Knight of Staffs, Squire of Staffs, Papist, then 5 of Swords, 10 of Staffs, Chariot. Priestess and Chariot are intersections of Taylor and Ruth. The Empress, the
external figure. Cover art is hard, you guys. Cover art for books is hard. Don't let anyone tell you friggin' otherwise. Jesus Christ. Alright. Empress and Hermit are angled toward the center. But it would make sense to reverse how they are on the cover art. They're both holding things aloft, which makes them appear Taylor is strangely present, just like the two facing cards where she intersects. She forces us to be present. Struggles to move forward. The Hermit is looking back. There's going to be some sort of archetypal 3 going on. Alright, so in the archetypal 3 of the women, you have the woman who is alive and coming into her own as witch. And then you have the witch who has died already in her own, a reversal of maiden and cronehood. Then you have the werewolf, seasonal, ever-changing, very, very Chariot-esque, especially with the sphinxes on these cards, goddamn. Much more present. The one who is initiated, the one who is leading, and the one who is present. Initiated, the one who is leading, the one who is present. So we're looking at an archetypal female trio image, similar to the triple goddess, but not in a maiden mother crone way, more in a healer, smith, and poet way. The strangeness of words for poet. Smith is someone who is trying to build, who's trying to hold things together, trying to be glue, and healer. But also mother. Who is more witch, the healer or the smith? Who is more wolf, the healer or the smith? The wolf has all the instinctual knowledge. Instead of sphinxes having wolves. Archetypal and changing. Healer. Poet. So we're going Empress, Chariot, Hermit. Alright, so for this project, we're going to go this cover, we're going to go Ruth, Taylor, Janie, which will be Empress, Chariot, Hermit, which will be Healer, Smith, Poet. So and it's 11:01, so time to get ready to start all the wrap-up business. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm Rose Your Music, your live stream writing accountability partner. I'm here every day from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours of live stream writing. Right now, what we're doing is the Share What You Did wrap-up chat. So for anyone new, the way this works is, and I gotta fix my headband, holy Christmas. Just the way this works for anyone who's new is that I'm going to briefly summarize what all I got done during my 2 hours of writing time. And you are free to share what you got done during your 2 hours of writing time in the chat, because after I'm finished briefly summarizing what all I got done, I'm going to head into the chats on both YouTube and Twitch and respond to everything written there, every question, every comment. And so anything that you wrote during the 2 hours of live streaming and anything that you're writing now during this wrap-up chat, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to have a conversation about writing, about what you do, about what I do, about the creative process in general. So let's get to it, starting with the brief summary from me. All right, so first off, I went to Buffer and I queued up some Wonder Tales to be posted, to be linked to on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook, like I do. I'm not as proactive on those platforms conversationally. I am on them, so feel free to contact me there, but, you know, not so much LinkedIn, but the other ones. Then I wrote my daily blog post for today, which was teasing a sort of mental breakthrough I had regarding the whole job hunting thing. And so I'm looking forward to implementing my next stage of job hunting and actually seeing results. So there's that. Then I worked on my resident show submission. I am a singer-storyteller living at AS220, which is a nonprofit organization created by artists for artists 35 years ago. And, you know, it started with them not so legally living in the building that they were turning in the first building that they were renting space out of to turn into a performance space and gallery, and then migrating to the next space and the next one, and now it's just been growing over the years, and it's been a huge part of revitalizing downtown Providence, and it's just an amazing place now. As of today, 35 years later, you know, they've got 3 buildings within a couple blocks of each other that have live workspaces for artists, 5 gallery spaces, a couple of performance spaces, a dark room, the industries lab where they have things like laser cutting, and I think they're getting a 3D printer at some point. I know they were in talks about getting a perfect binding press for printing your own books, because they already have letterpress and things of that nature. Just so many resources for artists of all kinds to use, though I am plotting about more resources for writers that they could offer. I'm always thinking about that. But anyway, as a resident artist, every year there is the resident showcase, where the performance artists share work that they're creating to work and perform. As a singer-storyteller, I perform. And then they also have the resident gallery, which is one of the other buildings, set up to show a little bit of work from everybody who is a visual artist, whether they are working in multimedia, painting, photography, video, anything that can be somehow displayed over the course of a month goes into the resident gallery for the month of, I believe it'll be August is the month, because that's performance date for the resident show. In case anybody wants to make plans, the resident show is scheduled for, I wrote it down, it is the 24th of a month. Why don't I have it? It's not written down in August. Did I not write that down? I did not write that down for whatever reason. Oh no, there it is. Resident show. I had it in the evening column instead of the personal column, which is where it belongs. Resident show, Marathon Cabaret, 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. And that's August 24th of Friday, 8 p.m. So in case anybody wants to try to show up to that shindig, the deadline for letting them know what I want to do for my piece in the resident show, making my resident submission, is May 1st. So I have to, that and the 100 days starting, those are the 2 things I need to have squared away. I need to be squared away for first in this in-between time, is just getting my submission squared away, which means really deciding what my piece is going to be without necessarily memorizing it quite yet. I'll be working on that a little bit over time, particularly in the days leading up to. But yeah, so right now my priority things in the in-between time of the in between the 2 100-day projects, 100 official days of morning writing, is getting everything squared away to start the 100 Days of Sally Forth, and getting everything squared away to submit my piece for the resident show. And so then after I worked on getting my resident show submission together, I worked on updating better-storytelling.com, which is my author-writer website that I'm trying more and more to make the hub of all the creative stuff that I'm doing. Some of my projects are larger and have their own email lists, like the Golden Goose Eggs and the Penrose Trekkie. But Better Storytelling is where I just collect and talk about all the things and try to find a way to just show people that underlying connecting thread, which is my philosophy that we can build a better world through better storytelling. So, yeah, I just got everything. I started, just going through the checkpoints of the sort of platform assessment that I have, and just going through that to decide what all needs doing to update the betterstorytelling.com, because you may have seen, like, I've got the section that just shows like the pretty book cover art and then each book cover linking to where that book is online. And I have the about section, and I have the for the reader section, which has sort of the hidden CV and also links to the major projects going on right now, which are the ASMR reading of Random Bearings on YouTube for National Poetry Month, the GoldenGooseEggs.com, and the PenroseTrekkie.com. And then there's the contact section, which is just the links to YouTube, Twitch, my YouTube, Twitch, and Medium profiles/channels. That way, whatchamacallit, people can contact me. People can contact me on those platforms where I am most readily accessible for contacting. And then I hopped over to Sally Forth because better-storytelling.com, working on that, helped my brain to get into gear. It's like, oh wait, no, this thing is the priority. If you're not working on getting your res show piece together, this thing over here regarding Sally Forth is the priority. So I'm trying to work out items from the outline that I know is going to be what it's going to be, and trying to come up with some points about what I want the cover art to look like. And Janie should actually go in the middle because it's more her story than anybody else's. But also, it needs somehow to not focus on any one of the three women. Even though it's mostly Janie's story, I have got to figure something out with this cover art. But I've got the major elements of it. That's the thing I was working on last, is just somehow a representation of Ruth, Taylor, and Janie as Empress, Chariot, and Hermit, Healer, Smith, Poet, Hearth, Crucible, Inspiration. So, and I really like that lineup. It's just how to get that quite right with and it's thunder and lightning outside. That's exciting. Okay. Anywho, so that's the wrap up. I need to do some more brainstorming stuff for the cover art. And that's my portion of the wrap up. If you have things in the chat, I'm going to jump into the chat now and check those out. In YouTube, no chatting. That is fine. I'm actually going to hit refresh just to double check that the video is still technically live and just the page hasn't been finicky. All right. Yeah. No, nothing finicky going on YouTube. Cool. On Twitch, it doesn't look like anything's going on here on Twitch except 3 viewers not making use of the chat. That's fine. I can rant enough for all of us combined. Including myself, which really just creates a feedback loop of nonstop talking on my part, which might not be the best idea. Anywho, Sally Forth. That's the next project I'm going to be working on. My 2 main things that I need to work on the in-between time, between this 100 days ending, of which today is day 97, and round 2 of 100 days starting, which is May 1st, the 2 things I need to get done are square away what I'm going to be doing in my showpiece for the resident show Marathon Cabaret in August. And 2, getting Sally Forth squared away. And that that means the new cover art. That means re-angling the story to be about Janie crossing over, Ruth moving on, and Taylor being just amazingly strong and present about the whole thing. But that might just be because I haven't done enough character development for her to freak out. But yeah. So I'm going to screen share real quick while I'm thinking here. So we have this is what I'm working with in terms of the imagery. I have it charted like this rather than I have it charted in the A column rather than in the one line, because this lineup is how I want them standing together on the book, but that might get curved into a circle. So right now this is the cover of the book. It was the Sally Forth Intrigue with the word Institute crossed out for the word intrigue because they work at the Sally Forth Institute, whereas zombie hunters it's more their their hunters is the wrong word. Zombie is also the wrong word for the world building that I'm doing. But revenants. They're revenants, and they need like it says right here, welcome to the Sally Forth Institute. At the forefront of revenant research and containment, if anyone's going to find the cure that will once again make death permanent, it's going to be us. That's just the blurb for where they work, but their job, Janie, Taylor, and Ruth, their job at Sally Forth Institute is to basically be firefighters, except instead of fighting fires, they are fighting breakouts of they're fighting revenant breakouts. They're fighting and containing. They're working to contain damage. They're damage control for the whole revenant thing. So they're part of the ghouling circuit. But there's another word I had for it in the first chapter. But healer, smith, poet, circle. Just a little brainstorming while we're still together of what all I want to do. With the cover art. Healer, smith, poet is an image that's been used for Bridget, often with all three women being the same age. But for whatever reason, people are like, this one has all three of them crone-ish. Maybe I do need to have them stacked as sort of representative of where they are just from the outside of the story with... Okay, so maybe not... Okay, so this is gonna get renamed one. No. I don't think Alright, so if we went instead for this. Okay, because then they're all center, and because they are all central to the story, rather than having, and then it creates more build, because when they're all in a row, it makes it look like whoever is in the center is the focus. But if they're all in a column, which then also becomes inadvertently a column of fire, which is necessary to understanding the individual growth of these characters. Type the letter E, computer. So if it goes Janie Taylor Ruth or Ruth Janie Taylor, that would be more. That could work. That could work. But now it's getting... Alright, so... young adult book. Yeah. Alright, so... with fiction, you want to be evocative more than anything else. So it could be silhouettes of the three in different colors, or silhouettes each revealing a different image. No, each revealing a different image would be too much. But if they were different colors, like a symbolic flame, then actually you could do silhouettes of each of the young women focusing in towards Sally. Not Sally, focusing in towards Janie. Brainstorming. As a column or as... So with the colors of the flame, starting white hot center, then in the fire. So being the fire, the source of the wound, but also the source of the truth. Being caught in the fire, in the crucible of it, caught. So the white, the orange to the red, So now I would just need silhouettes of the three, but what I or red, orange, yellow, white with the charcoal gray. For the title. Okay. I think that is my plan for the moment. If I can find the right silhouettes to use, that should actually work. And actually, thank you phone. Actually, I could do a funny little thing. I think I know where to get an idea for. Okay. I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop into the chats one last time to see if anybody has anything they want to say, want to add. YouTube? Nope. Twitch? Nope. Okay. That timer means we're officially done here. So I'm going to do my official wrap-up chat, and that is this. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm Rose Your Music, your live stream writing accountability partner. I'm here every day from 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 2 hours of live stream writing accountability, followed by a Share What You Did wrap-up chat where I briefly summarize what I get done in case you aren't watching, reading along as I do it. And then I respond to everything that gets written in the chats on both YouTube and Twitch from the entirety of the live streaming. So yeah, thank you very much for joining me today and for sitting through me just randomly brainstorming. It was just a rainy day kind of a mood for brainstorming. So thank you very much for joining me today and for your patience, and I will see you again next time. Good journey, my friends.